If you recently finished the Apothecary Diaries, and now you're just sitting there like, what do I do with my life now? You're not alone. Mao Mao's brainy charm, those palace secrets, the slow burn romance with Jinshi, it's left a royal-sized hole in our hearts. So today, I'm serving you 10 anime that hit like Apothecary Diaries. Some with palace intrigue, others with intelligent heroines, or just that same elegant storytelling vibe. Get comfy, maybe grab a cup of tea, let's dive in. Raven of the Inner Palace. If the Apothecary Diaries had a long-lost twin raised in secrecy, it would be Raven of the Inner Palace. Set in a lavish imperial Chinese-inspired palace, the story follows the enigmatic Raven consort, a woman shrouded in mystery, draped in elegance, and wielding powers that both intrigue and unsettle the court. She's tied to the royal family in ways she'd rather keep buried, and every episode peels back another layer of courtly whispers, forgotten tragedies, and ghosts that refuse to rest. The magic here isn't just in the supernatural elements. It's in the slow burn intensity, the layered relationships, and the way the palace itself feels alive with secrets. The tone blends quiet melancholy with sharp intrigue, giving a vibe that Apothecary Diaries fans will instantly recognize. Think of Mao Mao as the quick-witted detective. The Raven consort is a mysterious oracle. The setting is breathtaking. The storytelling hypnotic, a must-watch for anyone craving elegance, enigma, and a dash of the supernatural. Yona of the Dawn. Picture this. A pampered princess living the royal dream, silk dresses and all, until one night, betrayal shatters her world. Her father is murdered, her kingdom stolen, and the man she trusted most wields a blade. Most people would crumble. Yona, she wipes her tears, grabs a bow, and says, "Watch me take it all back." Fleeing the palace with her loyal guard, she sets off on a dangerous quest to reclaim not just her throne, but her own strength. Along the way, she hunts down the legendary four dragon warriors, faces harsh political truths, and transforms from a timid girl into a fierce, battle-ready leader. This isn't just about swinging swords. It's about strategy, survival, and self-discovery. The romance simmers slowly in the background, but the real feast is the messy palace politics and the way Yona grows with every challenge. If the Apothecary Diaries drew you in with court intrigue and character growth, Yona of the Dawn will have you hooked from episode 1. Moribito, Guardian of the Spirit. Moribito is one of those hidden gems that the anime world just doesn't talk about enough. And that's a crime, because this series is a storytelling masterpiece. The story follows Balsa, a stoic, no-nonsense female bodyguard tasked with protecting a young prince. The catch? His own empire wants him dead. Why? Because he carries something inside him. Not a curse exactly, but something ancient, mysterious, and powerful enough to change everything. What makes Moribito special isn't constant sword clashing or flashy explosions. It's the slow burn tension, layered world building, and emotional depth that stick with you long after the credits roll. Balsa herself? Imagine Mao Mao from the Apothecary Diaries, except she could snap your staff in half and your ribs in the same swing. If you're tired of over-the-top anime noise and want a series that's mature, mystical, and quietly magical, Moribito will absolutely pull you in. And you might just wonder why you didn't watch it sooner. Snow White with the red hair. Meet Shirayuki, a red hair herbalist whose talent catches the attention of a prince. But instead of blushing and swooning like a typical fairy tale heroine, she basically says, "Cool story, but I've got herbs to sort." What makes her stand out is her brain, independence, and determination. She doesn't just waltz into the royal palace because someone powerful likes her. She earns her place there, skill by skill. If you love the cleverness and subtle romance of the Apothecary Diaries, but want something softer and more uplifting, this is your cup of tea. The romance here is respectful. The characters support each other, and the drama stays light without losing its charm. And the visuals? Absolutely stunning. The studio literally drenches every frame in warm, glowing light, making the palace gardens and herbal labs look like something out of a painting. Bonus: watching Shirayuki work her herbal magic is surprisingly addictive, like ASMR, but with flowers and medicine. Heike Monogatari. Looking for something that trades flashy battles for pure artistry? Heike Monogatari delivers a breathtaking, melancholic experience. Adapted from the centuries-old tale of the Heike clan's downfall, it's narrated through the eyes of a mysterious young girl who can hear the whispers of the dead. Visually, it's unlike anything else. Imagine Japanese woodblock print springing to life, every frame painted with the elegance of a bygone era. The animation feels like visual poetry, making you pause just to take it in. The story itself is a tapestry of loss, honor, and the inevitability of change. It doesn't rely on palace intrigue or murder mysteries, But if you admire the cultural richness and emotional depth of the Apothecary Diaries, you'll recognize the same refined beauty here. Fair warning, it's not light viewing. It's heavy with emotion and historical tragedy, but in the most soul-stirring, unforgettable way possible. This isn't just anime, it's living history. Spice and Wolf. Alright, time to switch gears, because this next anime is a masterclass in brains over brawn. Spice and Wolf follows Kraft Lawrence, a traveling merchant, and Hollow, a centuries-old wolf goddess who prefers a form of sharp-tongued, ridiculously charming woman. Together, they roam medieval trade routes, making deals, dodging danger, and somehow making economics thrilling. Yes, economics. And before you roll your eyes, trust me, when you add clever market maneuvers, high-stakes negotiations, and the constant will-they-won't-they banter between these two, you're hooked. Hollow's wit is razor-sharp. Lawrence's patience is always being tested, and their chemistry? Off the charts. It's like if Mao Mao and Gene Chi from the Apothecary Diaries went on a road trip and argued over grain prices instead of poison plots. If you love intelligent storytelling, slow-burn romance, and characters who can outsmart a kingdom while still making you laugh, Spice and Wolf is pure gold. The 12 Kingdoms. At first glance, this one tricks you into thinking it's your average ice guy. A normal high school girl, Yuko, suddenly gets pulled into a strange new world. But instead of magic schools and fluffy adventures, you're dropped headfirst into a sprawling, cutthroat political drama. Yuko begins as timid, doubtful, and way out of her depth. Yet every challenge, assassins, rebellions, backstabbing nobles, forges her into a sharp, just, and unshakable ruler. Watching her transformation from lost girl to commanding queen is chef's kiss. This isn't about palace love affairs. It's about rebuilding nations, surviving betrayals, and navigating a political landscape as dangerous as any battlefield. The world building is so rich it feels like you stumbled into a centuries-old history book, except way more entertaining. If you love the Apothecary Diaries for its themes of justice, maturity, and power done right, the 12 Kingdoms will hook you and never let go. Hanasaku Iroha. Imagine dropping Mao Mao into a traditional Japanese hot spring inn and saying, "Alright, it's all yours, good luck." That's basically Hanasaku Iroha, except there's no royal court intrigue or mysterious poisons, just raw, heartfelt personal growth. Our protagonist, Ohana, isn't exactly prepared for what's coming. One day, she's sent to live with her stern grandmother, who runs a prestigious but old-school hot spring inn. Suddenly, Ohana is plunged into a world of strict traditions, eccentric co-workers, grumpy guests, and high expectations. Between scrubbing floors, serving tea, and dodging sharp-tongued remarks, she's also figuring out who she really is and what she wants from life. While the slice of life series at heart, it carries that same warm yet bittersweet coming-of-age energy fans of the Apothecary Diaries will instantly recognize. The animation is gorgeous, the emotions hit deep, and just when things get too heavy, a sprinkle of light-hearted comedy keeps it all beautifully balanced. This isn't just about running an inn, it's about running headfirst into adulthood. Emma, a Victorian romance. If you've ever wished Downton Abbey had an anime cousin, Emma, a Victorian romance is your perfect cup of Earl Grey. This isn't your usual high-energy, explosion-filled anime. Instead, it's a slow-burn masterpiece set in the refined, rigid world of Victorian England. At its heart is a delicate yet forbidden love between Emma, a humble maid, and William, a nobleman bound by society's strict expectations. No magic, no wild plot twists, just the intoxicating elegance of a bygone era brought to life with meticulous detail. The animation captures the creak of polished floors, the rustle of gowns, and the subtle glances that speak louder than words. It's romance built on restraint, yearning, and the unshakable tension of class divides. If the Apothecary Diaries won you over with its sharp take on social hierarchy, nuanced romance, and historically rich world building, then Emma will sweep you away just as easily, preferably while you're sipping tea by the window on a rainy afternoon. House of Five Leaves. Let's wrap things up with something truly different. House of Five Leaves isn't your typical sword-swinging samurai tale. Set in Edo period Japan, it follows a timid, soft-spoken samurai who finds himself drawn into the orbit of an odd little gang of kidnappers. At the center of it all is their leader, a calm, magnetic man who seems to carry more secrets than he lets slip. The animation isn't flashy. In fact, the art is muted and understated. The pacing? Slow, almost meditative. But that's exactly where the magic lies. Instead of nonstop action, you get deep, layered character studies that reveal themselves bit by bit, like pages turning in an old, delicate book. This is a show you binge in a rush. It's one you sit with, It's for viewers who prefer atmosphere over adrenaline, subtle tension over flashy battles. Think of it like a fine cup of tea, brewed with care, sipped slowly, and savored long after the final scene fades. All right, anime fam, the big question is, which one's instantly jumping onto your watch list? Are you rolling with the mysterious vibes of Raven of the Inner Palace? Or maybe you're craving something soft, romantic, and wholesome like Snow White with the red hair? I want to hear your picks down in the comments. And hey, if you got any hidden gems that give off the same Apothecary Diaries energy, clever plots, royal intrigue, and a dash of danger, drop those too. Let's build the ultimate binge-worthy playlist together. If this list added a few must-watch titles to your queue, then you know the drill. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring the bell so you're always first in line for our next deep dive into the anime world. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until we meet again, stay elegant, stay mysterious, and maybe keep just a hint of poison in your teacup.